I found a new way to annoy myself. I set an alarm on my phone to call somebody when I was done my video. My video got a little longer than I thought it would. Obviously, it happens sometimes. And the alarm went off right in the middle of my video. I said, I'll just talk through it. Couldn't do it. Very frustrated. But had no one to blame but myself. So I just got back to Cleveland, Ohio. What a journey that was. Flew for the entire day, literally the entire day. My flight was at 7 a.m. on Tuesday. I didn't arrive in Prince Edward Island until midnight. And then the next morning I left. Next morning I hung out with my family all throughout the book signing of my father's. Wednesday evening. Thursday morning I left at 5:45 in the morning. So I had to be at the airport at 4:30 in Prince Edward Island. I did not get to Philadelphia until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, where Greg Schoner picked me up. We went to Harrington. I thought the Philly race good. We'll talk about her in a minute. I know every time I go anywhere, I always say we get the nicest clients because, I say it again, we do. We always have the nicest clients. And every time I stay overnight anywhere, everybody's like, stay at my place, and I should. And sometimes I do. Now, I should have last night because I didn't realize that Greg's house is in between Harrington and the airport. I thought it was past the airport. So I said to Greg, I'm just going to stay at a hotel. The reason being, sometimes I just need to collect my thoughts, recharge, focus on what's ahead for the week, right? Because there's a lot that goes on, as you guys know. Take into account how the horses raced last night, what I would like to see from the horses today, what I have to do today to prepare for tonight, what's going to take place on the weekend. All you guys know, tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up, and Amy and I and the kids are going to hook onto the trailer with our truck, and we're going to go 6 hours to Kentucky, race the horses as a family, race the horses on Sunday, and come back home. So a lot has gone on this week, but a lot is going on. And I just like to sit down, relax in silence, and collect my thoughts. So, I would have stayed at Greg's last night. I didn't mean to put him out like that, but I didn't realize that his house was before the airport. Nevertheless, I stayed at the hotel last night, got everything figured out, what I'd like to do. I'd like to reflect on what took place last night. Jazzy Judy was beat fair and square. In fact, she was given the race at the 5/8. Somebody asked me what happened at the 5/8. If you watch the race, I'm going to let the guy settle back in on the front. I don't want to be a scab, but at the same time, he's not my dad. I don't work for UNICEF. I mean, if you're going to hang out in the middle of the track for 5 pylons, then you're going to get out. You're going to be out. I gave him like 3 Mississippis. Maybe 2.5. You guys can see in the video, I was going to let the guy back down in front of me, but dude, your horse 3 years old now. You shouldn't be pulling up at the 5/8 and running out in the middle of the racetrack. I'm sorry, I can't help you out. So, when his horse was out and then was coming back in and darted out again, I'm like, enough. You just stay out there. And I thought at that point, 1, I had given him an opportunity to get back in front of me, and 2, the race is over. I'm a winner. That's what I'm thinking. Truthfully, the 2 horses I got to beat the one just pulled up in front of me and is now parked. The other one is second over behind him. Will likely have to come 3 wide around both of us in the last turn, and I'm thinking Jazzy Judy's a winner. It didn't work out that way. Like I said, she got beat fair and square. Last half 58, last quarter, and her own last quarter was 29-1. Respectable for a tight little half, but not enough to win. So we settled for a third. And what else took place yesterday? Ty went on, looked fantastic. Tim's Barn on fire for us, 2 for 2 yesterday. Compass Rose DC, Ty went on, both looked fantastic. I had somebody send me an email and say, I don't know if she's sire stake material though. Really? She just beat one of the best horses in Pennsylvania. The other 2 divisions went 3 and 4 full seconds slower than hers. She's now got 2 wins in a qualifier, a win in a maiden, a 4th in a sire stakes in the mud in her first lifetime start, and one of the most convincing victories of the day, and the fastest division of the Arden, which, by the way, is not a Stallion Series event. That is an open event for Stallion, sire stakes, and all jurisdictions in North America, if you paid into them, if the sires paid into them. So, absolutely, if there's any horse on earth that's a sire stake filly right now in Pennsylvania, It's her. I slipped up and said I thought that might have been a national seasons mark for 2-year-old trotting fillies. It wasn't. One went in 154 and 154 and 4 at the Poconos. Okay, so you went in 54 and 4 on the fastest 5/8 mile track that this universe has to offer, and you did it on a scorching hot day. Okay. Ty went on left of the 7-hole, made front, let the favorite go, sat behind her, and by the favorite I mean the favorite was even money. She was 6-5. Sat behind the favorite, come out winning 55 with mud fenders on because it poured rain and the track was off. So yes, she's a sire stake filly. And very much so. And listen, I love the conservative manner of some of our clients. And it wasn't just one client had said, is she or she may not be. A few clients said, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Well, she is. And there's nothing wrong with being, just stay in the Stallion Series. But you have to remember, we never were in the Stallion Series. That fourth was in the Pennsylvania Sires in her first start. It wasn't the Stallion Series. So it's not like we're jumping her up. She's just staying where she was. You know, one other, and a perfect example, the other way. Renegade Gypsy race last night. Finished 7th, trotted in 6th or 7th, trotted 57. Respectable mile for a 2-year-old. It's not good enough. Not good enough being the golds. I didn't have to tell Mario. I texted him. I said, horse looked good? Did he trot good? Question mark. I said, probably going to head to the grassroots, right? Question mark. He said, trotted great, looked good, just isn't good enough being the golds right now. So, yeah, next Saturday, Kawartha Hill race in the grassroots. Goes without saying. And certainly nothing wrong with that. So, very happy with Renegade Gypsy. You can't be unhappy when horses do all they can. I don't care. If you're unhappy because he only trotted in 57 and finished 6th, then that's a you problem. That's not a Renegade Gypsy problem. And sure, I'd like to see Grace not make a break at Grand River, right? I'd like to see that her blood come back, that she wasn't sick the other day, because it did. And I would like to enter her in the next gold, but we can't. You know, we're going to skip the gold. The only saving grace is fine. Play on words, kind of. The only saving grace is that the grassroots and golds are numbered. You race in gold number 3, you can't race in grassroots number 3. But if you don't race in gold number 3, you can race in grassroots number 3, which is on August 14th. The timing is good. I do believe Grace is a gold filly, but she wasn't healthy the other day. That happens. I don't think it was allergies. I don't think it was anything other than timing. It's just the way it was. So we'll clean her up, make sure she is and stays cleaned up, and move forward with her. So that's a couple little things. I don't know if there's any other pressing issues that came up, but those two in particular, are those 3. I'd like to clean those up right away. Taiwan is definitely going to the next Sire Stakes event, which I think she deserves. Renegade Gypsy's going to the next Grassroots event, which I think he also deserves. And Grace was sick the other day and is going to get treated up. Easy next week or so with her, and then have her ready for the 14th for the Grassroots. I think that goes without saying also. So, otherwise, pretty happy all around. You know, it's never perfect. We had the injury with Hill of Magic, so you're never going to have a week of just good news. But as long as we can have more good news than bad news, we'll call it a win. So, what's going on today? We have 14 horses racing today. Starts at 5 o'clock with Rose Above It. Somebody said, well, you raced the other horses in the Arden, and you raced a Mordina in the Arden. Why not Rose Above It? Simple. It's not as good as our Mordina right now. Goes without saying. Do I really have to explain to you why the horse that got beaten a maiden isn't in the open staking event at the Meadows? I think that's a mosquito. Ooh, I don't like mosquitoes. You need to leave. Out! Mosquitoes these days, they don't listen to anyone. So Rose Above It is racing in a maiden where he's going to be picked to win, not where he's going to be 15 or 20 to 1 in the Arden. And getting all of 7,000 is much more important than getting a small piece of 18. So mathematically, the maiden. Intelligently, the maiden. And I think we'll be just fine. I'm a Lovely Lady, and Mama Knows Best will do battle in a small field. But they don't have to worry about each other as much as Designer Specs and another filly in there. So no cakewalk. 6-horse field going for $7,000. It's a $20,000 field going for 7 at the fair. Now tonight at Northfield isn't a normal race night. Tonight is a fair night. So It may be at Northfield, but it is a fair event tonight. Anything that happens tonight doesn't count on the Ohio horses. But I'm a Lovely Lady, I think, should get away in a favorable position. Most definitely more favorable than the last position she got away in, which was parked the whole way. So Luke Ebersol is going to drive her. You know, I had a great conversation with a couple of clients the other day. They looked and they said, well, why do you have Luke Ebersol driving the horses? His average is not good. Okay, that's fine. You want to get analytical? What's his average on our horses, I wonder? I would wager a good sum of money, and I asked Greg to look it up because he's one of those analytical people that can. So if you're out there and you're good with numbers, tell me what Luke Ebersol's driving average is, if nothing else, in the year 2021 on the stable.ca horses. I'd be curious to know the answer to that. I can assure you, and I would wager good money, it's at least twice what his average is in general. Luke is driving horses that have, Luke's like every other driver. Here's the breakdown and the way the pecking order works at most tracks. At Northfield Park, for sure, if you're not Aaron Merriman or Ronnie Wren, you're getting picked over horses, or horses that likely aren't going to be bet down that well. And I've been a guy like Luke Ebersol before, trying to break in, and it's not that he's trying to break in because he's been here, but it's not easy to go out and drive horses that are not supposed to win and win with them. It's not that easy. So I don't think Luke Ebersol has made very many mistakes with our horses. And the rebuttal to that was somebody said, well, anybody could win with Slim Jimmy. Let me tell you a little something. Anybody could have got beat with Slim Jimmy also. I could have got beat with Slim Jimmy. I've got beat with lots of 1 to 9 and 1 to 5 shots. Happens all the time. Don't take any wins for granted out there. So you see Luke Ebersol get away 7th and circle the field, win. And you're like, oh, anybody could have done that. Well, I guess I could have taken I'm a Lovely Lady back the other night. Got away 6th, been 3rd over, circled the field, and been 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. But I didn't. I got parked the whole way. Driving is not easy, and taking for granted that you got a good drive from somebody should never happen. So for those of you out there that think Luke Ebersol doesn't, anybody can drive a horse? Yeah, there's lots of very talented. Hunter Myers does a great job. Ryan Stahl set a world record at this track with Yes for us. Aaron Merriman, Ronnie Wren, all these people have won races for us and done good for us. So I don't take any of them for granted. I appreciate their help. And as far as Luke Ebersol goes, I think he does a fine job for us. And if he didn't, he wouldn't be driving for us. Pretty simple. So in race 1, I'm a Lovely Lady and Mama Knows Best are going to do battle, but they have more to worry about than themselves. I chose Mama Knows Best. 1, because I'm a Lovely Lady probably doesn't need to hear my voice this week. 2, she's easy to drive and will likely get a good trip. And 3, Mama Knows Best isn't as easy and push button as I'm a Lovely Lady. I know her quite well. I don't want to put her in a position to get hurt racing for $7,000. I wish Designer Specs wasn't in there, but that's the way it goes. We'll try and get some money. You talk about a tough week. You look at me and you say, oh my God, Anthony, you flew all day Tuesday, right? Was in PEI all day Wednesday, flew all day Wednesday. It must have been so hard on you. You think I had a tough week? White Tigers had a much tougher week than me. Originally, what had happened, what was supposed to happen was he was entered in Plain Ridge and he was going to leave here Tuesday afternoon. No big deal. It was a big deal, though, because the gentleman that was shipping him, Mr. Dubois' wife, got in an accident. He couldn't come for White Tiger. I only know one other guy around here that ships everywhere, and that's Joe Morris. Called Joe. I said, listen, I need a big favor here. I'm really stuck. This horse is Indigo in Plain Ridge. He may as well have been in Pluto as Plain Ridge. He said, Anthony, my trucks are going back and forth to Kentucky all week. I don't really know what I can do. I said, well, fine. I said, you know, if it helps, my wife just took him back from the Meadows to Cleveland because Mr. Dubois was going to pick him up at Northfield. He goes, that's actually less helpful. I might be able to pick him up at the Meadows tomorrow. Take him to my farm Thursday, all day Thursday. Ship him down to Saratoga Friday morning where a gentleman can take him to Plain Ridge, and that's exactly what happened. So White Tiger left here, left the Meadows Tuesday to come back to Cleveland, apparently just to eat supper, because the next morning he was put on a truck back to the Meadows. Then he was picked up at the Meadows and taken to New Jersey, but 7 hours, 6 hours. Got off the truck in New Jersey, ran around in the field for a day, got fed, got up Friday morning, and got shipped to Saratoga, where he then went from Saratoga to Plain Ridge, arrived at Plain Ridge at noon on Friday to race Friday night. So stands to reason and goes without saying, White Tiger, expectations are going to be a little low on him tonight. His work schedule was scattered this week, to say the least, and his shipping was extreme. So Jeff Lieberman just called me to say the horse is in good spirits. I did give him a little lunch. He's eating all his lunch. Seems okay, and should be fine. So we'll see how he goes tonight, but not a ideal shipping situation for White Tiger tonight. Amor Diener is racing tonight, picked for second, but has a real good shot. I think this horse likes the meadows, races well, and will suit Dave Palone very, very well. Rose Run Why Not? And a lot of people ask me, hey, Anthony, how does she get to race without qualifying? Because, as I said, tonight is a fair. You don't have to be qualified to race at the fairs. Tonight is a fair, so we entered her, used tonight as a qualifier. Of course, she drew 7 and got in with tough fillies, so she's not going to get raced very hard. But just nice to have Rose Run Why Not's name in the program again and back in to go. First Glance, great shot again tonight now that we got him out of the grassroots and a little better favorable position. Now, even Mario said I drove him hard last week. I said, Mario, I think he drove him hard the same night that I got parked the whole way with I'm a Lovely Lady are very similar. I said, I think you've reached the wrong extension if you're calling me to you know, cry on my shoulder about driving a horse hard. I've done plenty, so it's not the end of the world. You drove him as you saw fit. I can't really complain. It's just the way the race worked out, so hopefully he works out a better trip tonight. But he's been great for us all year. The only check he missed, the only time he was out of the top 3 was last week. He was 4th and earned it, raced his guts out. And the week before, they went 45 or something in front of him in the grassroots, some ridiculous number, 52 or 51 or something. So, or 50 even, I don't know. Adrenaline Rush in tonight, first start off of sickness. Don't really know what to think. Hopeful, but reserved, I guess is the way that I'm going to put that. Voyage of Ice and Fire is really coming in off a couple of really piss-poor miles, and I'm not very impressed with the way he's raced his last 2. Hopefully we can get him back on track. Doesn't really appear to be anything wrong. Yeah, I think that curb was bothering him. We fixed that. So he's not going to have that as a crutch tonight. And to be honest, he hasn't really been the type of horse to lean on issues. This horse has trained down good, been tough. I don't really know what the hell is going on with him right now, but hopefully tonight is a step back in the right direction. Twinkle in Her Eye, picked for first or second tonight. She should be good. I'm optimistic about her also. Quite frankly, we have a lot of horses racing tonight that have a shot. A lot of horses that are good, a lot of horses, and the horse I'm about to talk about isn't even racing for the most money. But I'll be watching her maybe the closest, and that's Globetrotting. Can she get around a half? Can she get around Yonkers? Picked to win from the rail in Yonkers. I am excited and can't wait to see her race tonight. But the next horse on the list is Massive Profit. Again, has never drawn good, not one time in a stake event in Indiana. Not one time. Drew the 10-hole trailing spot, got drug out of the race last week. Got beat fair and square, finished second 2 weeks ago. Got beat fair and square and finished second last week. Now drew the 9-hole, going for $66,000 tonight. I think he's 5, 6, 7 to 1 or something. I'd like to see him come forward also. We've seen Taiwan On jump forward. We've seen Bomb Hugger jump forward. We've seen even Grace in her second last start jump forward. We've seen horses come forward from their qualifying days where their qualifiers, you look at them and like, yeah, this horse got some talent, but you have to follow through on that, right? So hopefully we see her follow through on that, follow through on that tonight. But from the 9-hole, that's a tall order. And then 2 fillies I like very much. One, because she's really unique and very, very rare, I guess. Purple Aura does not fit into a mold. She's an odd trotter. She does odd things, but the one thing she does do is trot. And she wants to get at it. She wants to do her work. So I'm interested to see how she's going to do tonight. I guess if you're a wagering client, I think Purple Aura might be the best bet tonight because all of our other horses that have real good shots will be bet down. Rose Above It's going to be bet down. Amor Diener is going to be bet down. First Glance is going to be bet down. Twinkle also. Globetrotting. Massive Profit's got the 9-hole. So again, I'm not a very good gambler at all, and I never ever wager. But at the same time, if I was going to take a look at our 14 horses and say who's our best shot to win, that would be the last horse I'm going to talk about, Sweet on Pete. Who's going to be the best one to bet? Maybe Purple Aura. I don't know. She gets to 6 or 7 holes. She's in with a couple that look good, and I'm really impressed with the way she's racing right now. And she's coming forward. So, yeah, I'm going to say that. And as I said, the last one I'm going to talk about is my the horse I think has the best shot to win, which is Sweet on Pete. The only horse to beat is the horse that Of Tom took a round out of, and she beat me fair and square, but that was 4 days ago. You're not coming back with a 4-year-old filly after a 10-round war at a fair track. You know, we broke the track record by 2 full seconds Monday in where the hell were we? I can't even think of where the hell we were on Monday. It'll come to me. The fair track we were out on Monday where Tiffin told you to come to me. Where Of Tom got beat fair and square in 2-1. The filly that beat her has come back in 4 days. Now she's got a race against Sweet on Pete. Good luck to you, sir. I think Sweet on Pete is itching for a fight right now. She is brimming with confidence. I really, really like this filly. And really, when I look at the lineup today, this looks like a pretty accomplished baseball team right here, you know. Great little leadoff horse tonight with Rose above it. We get to clean up with Amor Diener and even the bottom of the order here tonight. And this is just by time when they race. Globetrotting, Massive Profit, Sweet on Pete, Purple Aura. So it looks like it's going to be a good night tonight for us. Good luck to all of you. Good luck to our partners, our clients. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.